Okay, now I wanted to talk about a video that I watched last week. And, well, first of all, what happened was I was checking through my feed and there was a guy who I'm sub to, and he's a sub of mine and I'm a friend of his on Xbox Live. And he'd uploaded this video of a really good gameplay. He's essentially a really good player, and he was doing a commentary over the top. And while he was doing the commentary, he happened to turn around and say, "Oh, by the way, guys, with regards to my last video, I hope I didn't offend anybody, or, I didn't really set out to make it as a hate video, but I'm glad you guys kind of agreed with me. It made me feel good. I wanted to get it off my chest." So straight away I thought, ooh, sounds a little bit ominous. I'll have a little peek at this. And I kind of almost wish I hadn't have done. Because in a roundabout way, I could be wrong, but I kind of felt like the video was directed a little bit at me. Now, if you are watching, I want you to just understand one thing. This isn't a beef video. I'm not hating. I'm not trying to start anything off. I'm not being unpleasant. All I'm trying to do is take from what I saw of that video, which I understand exactly what he was saying, and hopefully get the other end of the fence perspective, jump over the fence and find out what's going on there. But anyway, before I start confusing everybody, I'll go into it. What the video was based on was how smaller channels who've grown with other channels, all of a sudden one channel like mine, this was why I kind of felt like it was aimed at me, gets a little bit of fortune, something great happens, and then his channel just goes poof, and just suddenly explodes. That was the worst explosion sound I've ever done in my life, by the way. It was more like a gust of wind. So yeah, the channels essentially explode, and people who are kind of still in that community where they're struggling to get the channels up, or they're just growing on a very slow basis, almost feel, and I've felt this before, you almost feel like your nose has been put out of joint, and the people who are growing and the people who are a lot bigger think that they're a little bit better than you, because you feel like they're turning their back on the community, or for whatever reason. Everybody's got their own personal reasons behind this. And I wanted to kind of put my point across about this and hopefully speak on behalf of bigger channels, even though I don't understand it, because I'm by no means a big channel. I'm a bigger channel, but I'm not a big, huge channel. But from my perspective, I can kind of understand what it would be like 20 times that, or 30 or 50 or 1,000 times that. So I would like to believe that this video wasn't aimed at me. Sometimes I can get a little bit paranoid and think, oh, is he talking about me? And, I maybe looked into it wrong. I didn't dislike the video, I didn't like the video, I didn't comment on the video. I just watched it and I put it on the back burner and put it to bed, because I had some thinking to do. I had some kind of reflection on my attitude to see what I can do, to make this better if it is about me. And what I want to say is, essentially when I started out to the point of where it came to the notch of where I grew, my uploads were relatively simple. I could just upload any kind of gameplay with any kind of commentary. If I didn't feel like doing a commentary on that day, I could just jump online, play with some friends on Xbox Live. Sometimes these funny things would happen, and I would think to myself, do you know what, there we go, there's a funny little video I can do that's going to be less than a minute long. So I'd take this little clip, I don't know, say for the sake of argument, something like Black Ops. I'd call in a napalm strike, somebody would kill me just as I've called it in. I would then spawn the far end of the map directly underneath my napalm strike and cook to death, and I'd be the only death in the game. So that would, to me, would be essentially a really bad fail. So what I'd do is I'd take that clip, I'd put it with a bit of an intro and all the rest of it, and I'd call it a quick fail for lols. Really quick, really simple, takes about 5 minutes to do. I've uploaded a video. It was just, for me at that time, it was just about uploading videos. Now, ever since my growth has taken off and I've kind of adapted this thing where people want to hear the commentaries, now the pressure's on a little bit. And when I say pressure, I don't mean pressure in a negative way. I mean pressure in a way that I've got to deliver. I can't just sit there and... I see some people get really sloppy with their channels when they get bigger. They just post any old crap. Here you go, I'm just going to put something on my channel of me walking down the street with some friends, having a little bit of fun and banter, and all of a sudden we notice a beautiful young lady walking towards us with a very short skirt on, and one of us jokes, "Oh, look at her, I can see what she's had for breakfast." Ha 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 ha! High fives all round, we're all laughing and joking. "Oh, that's great, I've got it on my iPhone, I'm going to upload it." That's not what I'm about. I want to kind of keep the content true to what my channel is, which is marginally about commentaries. Now, with me, uploading those commentaries means that if I want to get a gameplay to go with it, I have to go through a few simple steps. I have to turn on my Xbox, I have to put myself on private, I sign in and then I crack on, and I'll decide what I'm going to do. I might think, oh, I want to get a nuke. Now, whereas previously, before, when my channel was smaller, there wasn't really that pressure to do that kind of thing. I could just log on, there you go, I've got 10 friends, we'll party up and have a nice game. Now my gamer tag's different. I don't even know how many friends I've got. But one thing I do know is when I sign in and I go public, if I decide to have a night of playing with subs, I get absolutely inundated with messages, invites, come into voice chat, things like that. And it's really quite hard to try and please everybody, you know? And I don't mean that in a nasty way, I just mean that in a way that that's how it is. You're like this giant melting pot, and you're trying to melt bubble over and spread out the love to everybody, and unfortunately you just can't do it. Now, from that, I guess that a lot of people who I used to play with some time ago might feel that they've had their nose knocked out of joint. It's like, well, why doesn't he play with us anymore? You know, when he was on 400 subs he used to play with us, now he's on nearly 10,000, he's got no time for us. He thinks he's too big for his boots, he's just a tosser, he thinks he's too good for us. It's not the case, I really don't. I still massively love the community that got me to where I am. You know I've had help along the way, I know I've had collaborations on bigger channels that have bumped me up, and I've had mentions and shout outs. I don't know, from my own understanding of what my channel is at now, and how much of a commitment I have to it, and how many messages and videos I watch, I kind of understand and respect these older channels who I once upon a time would have made a video saying these big channels are bastards, they don't care about us. And I know I did that Woody's Gamer Tag one, but that was completely different. That was talking about just one bloody shout out. This is talking about a whole amalgamation of people wanting to understand why you've, I don't know, effectively changed. And I haven't changed. I certainly haven't changed. I'm still the same person who commentates now as to what I did then. I think I've grown a little bit more as a commentator because I can't stand listening to my old commentaries. But as a human being, I still think I am essentially the same person. You know, I feature videos on my channel from people who I did come up with the community with. I get messages from people saying, please put my video on your channel, and I look and I think, well, I don't know who you are. You know, that would really be unfair for me to say, right, I'm going to put you on there, but that person who I was at 30 subs, I don't put his up. I don't know, it's just, I hope I've kind of made a little bit of a point here. You know, it's nothing nasty, that's what I say. I'm not responding in a negative way and trying to start anything. I'm just hopefully trying to make people understand that when you grow, your commitment grows. And to try and keep on track with everything and keep everybody happy is near bloody impossible. And, you know, talking about the YouTube feed, the private messages I get max out. I get a lot of comments. I mean, the messages people send me on Twitter, and these are people who I'm sub to, who are inundating me with videos and saying, look, you know, you haven't watched a video of mine for a while, check this video out, check this video out. And I try to fit it all in the best I can, but it is bloody hard. I'm not trying to get the violins out and play myself a sad song, oh, the hard times of being a YouTuber. It's nothing like that. I want people to get that you can't always be in about 15 places at one time. That's all it is. Anyway, that's me done, guys. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. I will see you again. Much love. Apocalypse done.